We are live on Facebook. Welcome, everybody, to Sohmalife Sundays. My name is Reverend Lynn, LaBorde, and we are here with you in beautiful, cold, dark New York on Sunday, January 17th, 2021. Our guest this evening is Reverend Norbert Larcher, a dear friend of ours, and we're delighted to be with you. We've got people from all over the world joining us. We have Ivana joining us from Serbia. We have Lloyd on the West Coast. We have Mary out in Oklahoma. Norbert and Rob, my host, and I are here in New York. I think Jackie's from New York and Edna's up in Canada. So we have people from various and sundry places all around the world. Of course, everybody who's live on Facebook. So back in the summer, Rob Scarpa had come to me and he said, I'm thinking about doing something where we would get together and talk live on Facebook, and we would talk about people's different journeys with spirit. And I said, God, that sounds like a great idea. And I said, I'm happy to help you host it. And he said, yeah, I'd like that. He said, I'm not quite ready to go out on my own. And I said, oh, it'd be my delight. Rob's one of my favorite people. He lives about 5 minutes up the road from me here in New York on Long Island. And so we started this, I think, back in September, and we've been live every single week. And it's just been an absolute delight to welcome people from all different walks of life. We've had people who do channeling, people who channel archangels, people who channel extraterrestrials. We've had mediums. We've had people that practice hypnosis. We have had, all kinds of amazing people talking about what it's like to have art come through them because spirit speaks to them in that way. Everybody's got a different journey. And Norbert has an incredible gift. He uses his voice as the voice of God. So I want to introduce you all to him. Reverend Norbert, thank you so much for being with us this evening. It sounds like it looks like you literally have a halo over your head from the light that we have.
The light, yes.
Exactly. Well, Norbert carries the light with him. I myself am in the middle of packing. I'm getting ready to make a move to Virginia. Spirit is calling me down there to see what's next. I'm going to be right there in the heart of Virginia Beach, just a half an hour from the Edgar Cayce Center. I have a beautiful home on a river, the Elizabeth River. So I'm very excited to see what's going to be next. So Norbert, what I would love to do at this point is invite you to lead us in an opening ceremony of sorts. Rob will be joining us at some point, but like an invocation, if you would bring us some of your magic violet flame.
Okay. Yes, I would like to recite this invocation here.
I would love to have you do that.
It goes like this. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out. Let light and love and power restore the divine plan on earth, and it is being restored at this time. I would like to call to Michael, the archangel, and his legions of light to protect us during this session. And I would also like to do, as I've always done, a guided meditation. Before I begin I would ask that you close your eyes, because I feel it's a lot better when the eyes are closed. And we will call to our beloved mighty I Am presence, which stands approximately 60 foot above every individual. This is the I Am. So before I begin, the I Am presence above you, the presence of God, your presence of God, we will invoke the violet consuming flame, which is an aspect of the Holy Spirit. And as you listen to my voice, we will take this flame throughout the physical, the emotional, the mental. But as we call the flame, we use dynamic decrees. And this is an exercise that everyone can and should practice daily, especially these days where there are so many people who are afflicted in body, mind, and spirit. And this flame, the greatest power or agent, God's agent, we need that now. There's so many victims out there at this time. So as I call to the flame, you listen to the voice, and we will touch every part of the physical, the mental, and the emotional. Violet flame, come forth. Violet flame, come forth. Violet flame, come forth. And now we use mental visualization and visualize this flame beginning its ascension at your feet. Pull that flame up at your feet. Let it flow through the veins and the arteries. Pull it up and take it into your kidneys. And then we visualize the flame as it enters the kidneys, taking command, holding its dominion, and producing its perfection, reactivating the kidney cells, strengthening the walls of the kidneys, cleansing and purifying the blood. And from the kidneys, let us take it into the bladder and visualize that flame entering the bladder and taking command, holding its dominion, producing its perfection, reactivating the bladder cells, strengthening the walls of the bladder. Visualize it. We can breathe as we do these exercises. Take it in. Take it in. Take it in. From the bladder, we are going to take it into the spleen. So we follow that flame as it enters the spleen, taking command, holding its dominion, and producing its perfection, and reactivating the cells. And from the spleen, let us take it to the liver. Visualize the flame entering the liver, taking command, holding its dominion, producing its perfection. The liver does so much work in our bodies. Let us strengthen the walls of the liver, strengthen this organ, reactivate all the cells, cleanse and purify the blood flowing through this organ. Take it in. From the liver, we're going to take that flame into the heart. both hemispheres. Visualize the violet consuming flame, that pure energy, purple-colored flame, the pure energy from the Godhead, taking command of your heart. And as it does that, it removes any blockages in the heart, and it strengthens that organ. The heart center, visualize that, visualize that, visualize the flame taking command of your heart, holding its dominion and producing its perfection, and removing any blockages. So see that flame that dissolves and consumes, dissolving and consuming any blockages there in the heart. And from the heart, we are going inwardly towards the pancreas. And we again visualize the violet flame taking command, holding its dominion, producing its perfection in this organ, and reactivating the cells, cleansing and purifying the blood, strengthening that organ. And from the pancreas, we are going to go now into the large intestine or colon. Visualize the flame moving up the large intestine, up and down the large intestine, cleansing and purifying and healing the cells, removing bad cholesterol, any polyps being dissolved and consumed. Visualize the flame taking command of your colon, removing polyps, removing bad cholesterol, reactivating the cells, cleansing and purifying this organ. And from the large intestine, we are going to go into the small intestine and do much the same, healing, cleansing, purifying, reactivating the cells. Then we move into the lungs, and we are going to visualize the flame moving around inside your lungs, healing, cleansing, purifying. Visualize it moving inside your lungs, healing your lungs, cleansing your lungs, purifying your lungs. And from your lungs, take it up the esophagus. And as it moves up the esophagus, it's going to take command of the esophagus and reactivate the cells, strengthen that organ or that passage, pull it up into the throat. And when it gets there again, heal, cleanse, purify, dissolve and consume anything which has to be dissolved and consumed in your throat, on your tongue, in the mouth area. Then we go up into the ears, and from the ears we go into the nostrils and the sinuses. We are going to heal the cells, cleanse and purify. Heal, cleanse, purify. Heal, cleanse, purify. And from there we go up to the eyes. Visualize the flame in the right eye, and then in the left, moving from right to left. Visualize the violet flame moving from right to left, to right to left. Visualize that. Keep it there for a while. Right to left, right to left. And you can say, I am 20/20 vision. I am 20/20 vision. I am 20/20 vision. From the eyes, we take it into the brains. Both hemispheres of the brains we are going to work on with the flame. As it takes command, it holds its dominion, produces its perfection, re-energizing all the cells in both hemispheres of the brains, re-energizing the memory cells. I am increased memory. I am increased memory. I am increased memory. I am increased memory. And as we do the brains, we go deep down inside and we work on the pineal gland. Oh yes, let the flame take command of this gland, hold its dominion, produces its perfection. I believe the DNA is housed in the pineal gland. So cleanse and purify the pineal gland. Keep it there for a while. And from the brains, we take it back up to our beloved mighty I Am presence. We are going to call the flame forward once more. Violet flame, come forth, violet flame, come forth, violet flame, come forth. Visualize the flame once more, beginning its ascension at your feet. This trip, I want you to see that flame as it moves up your sides, cleansing and purifying your auras, and dissolving and consume all discordant creations of the past and the present. Visualize that, visualize that, visualize your auras being healed and cleansed and purified by the violet consuming flame. Visualize that, visualize that. And as it moves up, it again passes through your mind and moves up back to your beloved mighty I Am presence. Once more, we call the flame forward. Violet flame, come forth, violet flame, come forth, violet flame, come forth. Visualize the flame once more, beginning its ascension at your feet, and this time you pull it through your bloodstream. And I want you to visualize your bloodstream being cleansed and purified by the violet consuming flame. And the blood sugar levels will be balanced. That flame will take command, hold its dominion, and produce its perfection. We also are from the bloodstream taken into the feeling world. Let us cleanse also and purify the thinking body, the feeling body, the acting body, and the desire body. So visualize the flame taking command. And also from there, think of the emotional body. Let the flame also take command of the emotional body and the mental body at this time. Visualize that. This is a time when we have to sit in meditation and we have to call for from your I Am presence, call for the flame and let it take command of your entire being. Hold its dominion, produce its perfection, but let it focus on the emotional body and the mental body at this time. And from the mental body, we let it go back up to our beloved mighty I Am presence, and we're going to call it forth again. Violet flame, come forth, violet flame, come forth, violet flame, come forth. And as we call it this trip, we project that flame. And we call to the angels of the violet consuming flame to amplify it and take it into the world at this time. We want to focus on family members, especially at this time, who are going through pains and illness, and people who are affected by COVID, the COVID virus at this time. Here is a time when you sit by yourself and you call forth the flame. After you use it on yourself in self-healing, then project it from yourself to family members and to institutions, the government at this time. We are also remembering what is to take place in 2 days from now, and we call to the violet flame to bring peace and harmony, that all will go well on Wednesday. We ask the angels to take that flame to other parts of the world. Many people, the entire world, the entire planet is now filled with the COVID virus. And we're asking God's most powerful agent to take command, hold its dominion, and produce its perfection. Beloved mighty I am presence, you are the only intelligence and power acting here. Take command of our minds and our bodies now. Hold your dominion and produce your perfection. You, Father God, we maintain our complete trust and faith to you alone. We give our total allegiance. Ever as I walk through the ways, do I feel the presence of the gods. I know that they are with me, and I with them forever. No evil shall be entertained, for purity is the dweller within me and about me. For good do I strive, and for good do I live. Love unto all things, so be it forever. Amen.
Thank you, Norbert. That was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Giovanna had to go. She is in Serbia. It's late in the evening for her, but she said that she loved the energies and they were very powerful. Thank you for bringing that forth.
Welcome.
Norbert, would you be willing to share with us your relationship with spirit and how it developed for you and how you came to be the man of God that you are?
I would say that my story started a long, long time ago. That started from St. Lucia, the West Indies. And I was brought up as a Catholic. And of course, I left the island and went to Scotland to study. And I was in the Merchant Navy for quite a few years. And when I left the Merchant Navy, it's so funny because I know it's not funny now, but I was walking in Edinburgh and on one of the streets there, and I felt myself being attracted to a spiritualist church. And I didn't know why. So I went in, and in those days, I was a little bit petrified because I used to hear so many things about spiritualists. So when I got into this place, I was thinking in my mind that maybe some person would materialize or whatever it was that I thought at the time. But I was unaware of so many things. But this is where my spiritualism started, in Edinburgh, Scotland. And then I, from Scotland, Then I went to London. I was in circles, closed circles and open circles. I did a lot of that. And from London, I came over here to this country. And very, very interesting because there's so many things I could be speaking about. So many, many, many things over the years. Things which happened to me, signs that I received. I remember there was a medium in Scotland, Estelle Roberts, and she was at that time a trance medium. And I learned so much from her. And there is also Helen Duncan. Now, you probably haven't heard about these people. Helen Duncan was also a medium, a trance medium. And in those days, they did a lot of direct voice. And right now, you channel direct. But in those days, you had to go in. She went into a chamber, and then when she came out, they took the ectoplasm, and the spirits would come and materialize through the ectoplasm. Have you ever heard of this?
I have heard of this. I have a woman locally. Her name is Winterbrook Ryan. She runs a spiritualist church, and she
Yes.
had gone to the Arthur Findlay Academy in England to do some study. And so Winterbrook would go into trance, and she would be able to manifest ectoplasm. You would literally see her face change.
Yes.
It was always a little outside of the box for me, although I'm pretty far out there.
Yes.
But I just never felt comfortable. After seeing Whoopi Goldberg and Ghost, I'm like, no, 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 no. No one's jumping into my body.
Yes, yes.
I'm fine with channeling the Ascendeds. I channel, every day, but it didn't feel right to me. And it's interesting because I watched the same woman, and she became really ill. So it just, I feel like there's kind of like a care and feeding of how you need to take care of yourself when you do that work.
Yes.
And it just
yes.
wasn't my within my wheelhouse, let us say.
Yes.
And
I remember. Yeah.
I respect people that do it. It's just, it was not my thing.
Yeah, I remember in those days when I started, they told me too that I could do trance, and it's funny you should say that, but I never really felt that this is something I wanted to do.
Exactly.
And exactly, I didn't want to do that. Although at the time there were so many people doing it, but this is not something I didn't want anybody to go inside and so on.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Yes, so I understand you. But yes, I've been through quite a lot to this stage where I am. And I thank God. I thank God for it and for the gifts, and for the healing. I'm really, I would say that as far as the mediumship, as you know, I have done, I right now go to the psychic fairs and I do readings, but I focus more on healing. This is my specialty.
Yes.
This is my specialty.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. The thing that I've noticed about you from the very first time that you came to the Sohmalife Sanctuary, and my mother still talks about you, and Rev Norbert, there's like the presence of God is laid upon you. And when you speak, it's just so beautiful. And you carry that light with you. And that's one of the things that I love. Like, I know that your heart is pure. You're literally an epitome of what I call a man of God. And you express that. So I have such deep appreciation for you for that. I know that journey is not always easy,
Yes.
for any of us.
Yes, it's really it's quite a lot. Even with well, I mean, I go to my church. I'm a Catholic. Actually, this morning I lectured, so I am also a lecturer in my church. And there's some people, they say, but how could you be a spiritualist and then you go to? It's like they seem to think that like, are you an imposter or something?
Like they're mutually exclusive, yeah, and they're not. Exactly.
Yes, it's like I said, well, there are people there
Yeah.
who want to know more,
Yes.
and then I can help them.
Yes.
And yeah, yeah. And
There's a group of us studying A Course in Miracles together, and we found that was channeled material coming from Jesus. And then we
yes,
found this other incredible book that is called The Way of Mastery, that is
yes,
also channeled material. And
yes,
people are like, well, that's not the real stuff. The real channeled material is The Course in Miracles, or that's not the real stuff. The real channeled material is the red letters in the Bible. And what Jesus has to say is all roads lead back to God. Like we're on
yes,
a tractor beam back to source. And it may
yes.
be in a spiritualist church, and it may be in a Catholic church, and it may be in a synagogue, and it may be in a, an ashram. I mean, who knows how you're going to get there, just as long as you get there, you know?
Yeah, but there is something here I would like to say. It's
Please.
kind of like when you think about the way it's done, say in Catholicism or in the Christian churches,
Mhm.
it's as if they place God separate
Right.
from yourself,
Exactly.
and so that's the thing here. But that's the 3D thing, and now we're moving into the 5D.
Yes.
Um, for a lot of people, it's going to be a challenge, and a great challenge,
Yeah.
because now everything they have been taught, they have to now start to think, what's going on here now?
Yeah.
And yes, go ahead. I
No,
believe you wanted to say something.
no.
Oh,
I
oh,
agree.
yeah. So I'm thinking like a lot of people are still very confused. A lot of people, and this is where we come in,
Hmm.
so that we can help guide people and direct them, and teach them about, because a lot of people don't even have never heard about 5D. What's that you're telling me about? A lot of people still want to stay where they are in 3D.
Right. Norbert, it's so funny. Someone was saying in the group that meditates with us in the morning, remember that group, the fifth dimension? They
Yeah.
sang, "This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius," and everyone was like, "Oh, wait a minute. They were ahead of their time. They knew we were heading to the fifth dimension." So there have been signs along the way, whether it comes in music or, whether it comes in, there's a woman in our group who said that she wanted to have a vision. Remember Lynn was talking about that, and she said, and all of a sudden there was an angel in her room. So what I know is that if you ask for it, it will reveal itself,
Yes.
It's just,
Yes.
it's beautiful.
Yes.
My coming to be channeling Yeshua, as I refer to him, came from, I had a client, and we were in session, and she was in a very, very dark and depressed place. And she called to say, "I just want you to know that I've decided that I'm going to be taking my life." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And so I started praying to God. I was like, please, please help me with her. And one of the things I do is I read people's Akashic records. And when I do, I tend to go into a trance. So she's like, "I want to talk to my records. I'm so mad at them. They did this to me." And she's arguing with the records. And I feel this energy come in on my left shoulder. And it literally taps me like, "May I have this dance?" And I'm like, "Sure." And I bow out. And this beingness starts communicating through me. And she's fighting, and she says to this energy, "Who are you, God?" And he says through me, "I am the one that you know as Jesus." And I'm like, "Oh, no, 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 no. This is not happening. I am not starting to channel Jesus. I'm not doing that. No way. No how. Nope. Nobody. Nope. Nope. Nope." And he and he goes, "Yes, you are." I'm like, like, how do you say no to the love of God, And so I was like, "All right, Lynn, put your big girl pants on and just kind of suck it up." And so for, oh my goodness, for probably 3 months now, every single day, sometimes twice a day, I am welcoming in the presence of Yeshua. I'm welcoming in the presence of Jesus. It literally moves me to tears every time. He uh he speaks through me, and he speaks personally to people, and he calls them by name, and he knows them, and he talks to them about things. There was a woman in one of our groups. We do these mastermind groups with him, and he was talking to her about her love of coins, and how she was one of the people that created the coins that were used back like during the Roman Empire. And after I came back, she's like, "Oh my God, I am a coin collector. I love coins. I collect coins wherever I go." And I'm like, you know what? I'm psychic, but I'm not that good. So that was definitely like for me, it's these moments of confirmation of knowing, man, that definitely was not me. You
Yes,
know,
yes,
I just sometimes as a trance channel, and it's an issue that I find that sometimes my ego will project onto other people. I'm like, was that really them, or was that the ego? Like, was that really the being that they're channeling? And I think I have that struggle within myself, but I think what we all have to trust is that we're riddled with good intentions, as one of my friends says. And when God wants to use you as an instrument, and that's who I see you are as a man, and I love that about you. I see
yeah,
that God uses you and uses you well. You know.
yes. I have I did a few I channeled a few messages from I got one from Jesus not too long ago though.
Oh, will you share that
And
with us?
yeah, it's actually on Sohmalife, I had it there.
Okay.
Um
Hey,
I
look who just showed up.
what's that?
Robert just showed up.
Oh, Robert just showed up. Yeah, so and it was a really nice message. And also I got some time ago there I got Mary the mother of Jesus.
Oh,
But
beautiful.
I yeah, but I find sometimes you have to pull back because I've just started doing this, and you don't want it to be yourself or your ego.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah,
Personally pure. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to pull back sometimes, especially when the messages are coming, so that it's coming
Yep.
from them and not from
Yeah.
although you have some of you there too, like with regards to the
There's
way
always
you
yeah, there's always an essence of us there. And they're using what's been explained to me is they come in and they use our memory banks. They use our data banks
yeah,
for
yeah,
the stuff that we know, for the message that we can bring.
yes,
One thing that I love that Rob does really well is when you take pen to paper, somehow it just seemingly circumvents the ego because you're just pure receiving consciousness rather than translating consciousness.
yes, yes, yes,
Yes, that's I've been told that. And
Yeah.
that's the purest way for me to deliver a message because
Yeah.
I'm outside of it. It's what they're saying. If I try and get involved in it, it totally
Yeah.
the flow ends. It's
Yeah.
I have to just keep myself to the side. Um, Similar to when you're channeling, Lynn, you completely step aside and let the energy take over,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And I started doing that work with Wendy when Athena first came to me in 2017. I didn't realize that Hathor had always been there. And I was introduced to her in 1996, but now I channel her, and actually she has a message that she'd like to bring. It's funny, she came through this morning, like there's a little more pressure that's being applied right now. Um, but the thing that I know is like when I teach people how to read the Akashic records, I always start by having them take pen to paper to bring that information through because there's something really powerful in that process of just allowing yourself to surrender to what is there. And Rob, I know you do that so brilliantly with your readings,
oh yes,
so beautifully. And by the way, Lloyd too, I'd like to acknowledge the three of you. I consider you three to be some of the most beautiful men of God that I've had the pleasure of personally knowing and befriending in my lifetime. Lloyd's going to come and be a guest on the show in the upcoming weeks, and I don't know that he knows that, but Jesus told me that's happening. So thank you, Lloyd. But Lloyd has a very, very precious gift in which he has conversations with God, and has just started his own beautiful Mighty Network platform where he's bringing those messages, but he shares them with us on a couple of Mighty Network programs that we have. And when you have surrendered yourself, when you have surrendered your ego, and you let the voice of spirit come through you like that, I can think of no greater service that we can be to humankind than to be the voice of spirit. and not in a way that is authoritarian, not in a way that is separatist, not in the way I'm the voice of God and you're not, but letting people know that if I can do this, you can do this. And I think that's where the humility and the grace comes in what we do, in sharing spirit. And that's why I love this program. And Rob, I can't thank you enough. People have said to me, I love watching it. I love being here. So, thank you, gentlemen, for that, for the gift that you are to all of us.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah,
Amen.
absolutely, absolutely.
It's a cooperative effort. It really is.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
It's a very
Rob,
cooperative.
I know that we talked earlier today, Lovey. Is there a piece of your writings that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, I do. But first, I just want to jump over to Lloyd. I
Yeah.
love the background, that halo. Is that your picture?
I think that's mine.
No, the halo and Lloyd's.
Over him, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I kind of got tired of the extraterrestrial artwork that I had going
Right.
on for a little while. So
No, did you take that picture?
No, I got this off of Google
Okay.
Images or something.
Because
Like
I have a
that.
picture like that I took myself.
So I just decided to download some backgrounds of sunsets and sunrises and stuff like
That's a
that.
great one. That's a great one. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry I was late. I was my brother just I haven't been out with him in a long, long time. So him and his girlfriend asked us to go to dinner. So I didn't want to. We blew him. We had to cancel it last night. So tonight was the makeup night. So I apologize for my tardiness.
You know what, Rob? First of all, we love you. It is always a delight to have you here. None of this is mandatory for any of us. And my rule that I actually learned from James when I moved home to New York is family first. So first and foremost, I just am delighted that you're with us. I just missed you. So thank you for showing up.
Well, I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah, me too.
And I received a message yesterday morning, and I'm kind of glad we don't have a huge group tonight. It was a message that I was trepidatious about sharing. But since it's a small enough group, I think it's one that it's definitely worth sharing. I just, at least I know we have a small group. I reached out to my guide, Osiris. I said, Osiris, just, like calling out to him. He said, yes. I said, tell me what it is I need to know today. And he said, oh, so we're back to that again, are we? And the reason that statement came is because from quite often when I first started doing my automatic writing, I used to ask, tell me what it is I need to know. And eventually they said to me, you don't need to know anything. You have everything inside. It's really just desire. And then they would give me a message anyway. So that's why it says, oh, so we're back to that again. And then this is the message. There is nothing you need to know, yet you continue to desire. So I will be brief. Know that all is amazing, all is fantastic, all is perfect, and so are you. There are things that are about to transpire upon your world, and much is to be said about whether it is right or wrong. But know this, all is in perfect alignment, so be at ease. What is going to happen regarding the disclosure of information detailing the attempts to thwart the light? Excuse me, that was my question. I'm asking, what is going to happen? Osiris said, there will be no thwarting. There will be chaos. There will be bloodshed, but there will be no overcoming the victory of the light. I said, what should I do to prepare? Simply do what you've been doing. Continue to turn off the news and tell others to do the same. Now is the perfect time for you and all to envision what it is you would like to see going forward for your society and your world. Never has the human been taught to think along those lines, so it does take some time for the imagination to re-expand. Boundless is your opportunities, unlimited is your potential, and restricted have been your thoughts. Programming, training, learned behaviors have created this, your current reality. So turn the page. see that it is blank, and get to work on your masterpiece. Creation is yours to behold. Creation is there to be lived and enjoyed, not ever feared or shut down. So is there any particular spirit guide or energy that would like to add to this conversation? And of course, you know that there are always many who would love the opportunity to utilize your services. Just simply let them in. And then I heard, yeah, yeah, yeah. And Paul McCartney singing the song, someone's knocking at the door, someone's ringing the bell. Do me a favor, open the door and let him in. I heard that song play in my head and I said, okay, who wants to step in and communicate? And I heard, greetings, beloved, and thank you for the access. It is I, your Lakshmi, and I'm delighted to be the first through to you today. It is wonderful to see that you continue to be the calming presence and stabilizing force within your family and beyond. So many are searching for answers. So many are looking for someone to step up and take the reins. Yet few realize that it is their time now. They must step into their new reality. Each incarnate needs nothing but the silence. The answers to everything reside in that space. To continue to search externally for answers is futile, for each and every soul is complete. A self-contained, perfect being of light is what you are. Unfortunately, many are not stopping long enough to see that aspect of self. Always returning, always running, always doing, yet never acknowledging their inherent divinity. So this is the key, silence. And for that to happen, much has to be switched off, if only for a brief moment of your time. Not to worry, it will not be what many think. Yet those thoughts will continue to nudge and affect the smaller aspects of experience, as the individual will continue to create their own reality, primarily through fear. The smaller aspects are far less powerful now, as the frequency of the planet, as well as the human, continue to rise. Release is so important right now, as many are playing those old songs in their head that limit and diminish expansion. Saint Germain has brought to humanity the power of the violet consuming flame to expedite this cleansing of self in order to return to self with a capital S. The smaller aspects of existence within the 3D matrix is like dirty oil and needs to be changed. Once the flow improves and the filters are cleaned, great will be the efficiency of the mind. Society is so gummed up right now, and very little is accomplished when things are not balanced. Pressure builds in places not normally affected, which is indicative of additional cleaning needing to happen. That is what is happening now all around your world, as people who believed they were immune to the nonsense are pulled into it. Everyone must make the choice now to recognize or not the truth that is humanity. Each incarnate will be provided that opportunity and will need to decide for themselves. No judgment here, just advancement. Either way, things will change. That is free will. So again, I and we say, create what you want, create what makes you smile, always including harmony, understanding, and love. Continue to spread the word, continue to turn up the light, and show compassion as often as possible, because that energy is so powerful. Be that leader of men. You know the drill now. It is time to take action. With love and blessings, I and we bid farewell. Lakshmi and company. So it was a pretty
Beautiful.
big message. Covered a lot of things.
Hathor came on the platform this morning and said that there's some big stuff that's coming.
Yeah.
Rob, I want you to know that your words just moved me to a shift in perception. It said in A Course in Miracles that a miracle is a shift from fear to love. And I have a dear friend named Wendy. We've been friends for some 30 years. And someone just sent a message request on on Facebook, like that they're not the normal friends. And it's Wendy's profile and it says, "How are you doing?" So I reached out to Wendy and I let her know. And while you were reading that, like there was this ire and so this anger inside of me, like, how dare you hack my friend's account? And this is what I wrote to this person because of the reading you just did. I said, "Hey, what makes you think it's okay to hack someone's account? Is this really the person that you're proud to be? Is this an action that you'd be proud to share with your family? Why not reach to God and stretch to be a better person? I forgive you. Now forgive yourself and choose a different way to make a living rather than stealing, lying, and deceiving. Be a better human. Love, Reverend Lynn." I hope it reaches their heart. I hope they feel some humor in that, you know? I don't know. Like normally I would have been like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah." And I'm
Right.
like, I'm just gonna love them. I'm gonna approach this, like it's like just be a better human, you know? I think that's all we can do in life is just approach people with love and forgiveness and be like, "Oh, you silly goose, what were you thinking?" You know?
Yeah. So many of my messages lately have just been to stay neutral,
Stay
stay out of
neutral.
the fray, stay, turn
Yeah.
off the news, turn off everything, turn off the devices, turn off the phones. Just,
Yeah.
you know, so many of them stress meditation, going into the silence,
Yeah.
recognizing our divinity in all this, because that's what's going to help us get through whatever bumpy, road we have to go down the next couple of weeks, couple of months, couple of years. I mean, who knows? Who knows, where we're at. But in addition to that, a lot of the messages and some of the ones I put out this week also emphasize the fact that, we are inextricably linked to Gaia. Gaia is linked to us. We're all part of one collective. So as humanity is all worked up and fired up and, letting the events that are on TV and the news and playing out around us raise people's blood pressure, the blood pressure of Gaia raises too. And one of the messages was clear a few weeks ago. It said, volcanoes are like a pressure relief valve. So as the pressure goes up, the volcano releases. So the recommendations and many of these messages this week were to try and keep everyone calm, to look within, to take everyone down a couple of pegs so that the earth doesn't react adversely to how we're feeling collectively. And it's just so important right now that we all do our best going forward to, bless you, to just mitigate all this energy that's out there that is not serving anyone. This anguish, this upset, whatever's going to play out in Washington and every other capital around the world is going to play out. And you, me, and everybody on this Zoom and on Facebook and even, expanded groups, there's not much that we can do to change it. Everyone's coming to this decision point. What will you accept? What will you recognize? And which way are you going to go?
What
And
we can do is add more love.
yeah, add the love, add the compassion, add the understanding, stay neutral. I've been doing a lot of practicing of that lately and just, biting my tongue and just letting people have their experience.
Yeah.
And it's better for me because then I don't get worked up. So
Exactly. It's better for everybody.
yeah.
There's a group of 30 of us that meet every single morning. And there's something that's happening, like we're congealing. There's this container, this kind of field where like the more light that we're bringing to each other, the more light that is being shown and shed to the world. Sorry, I'm having a little sneezing fit. But I think that's it. Just add more love. That's what Jesus says all the time. Just add more love. If it's okay with you, I'm just going to bring Hathor through really quickly.
Oh, please do.
I just have a few more minutes. Norbert, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for sharing your beautiful voice with us and your beautiful heart with us.
Thank you. Before we end, I would love to just say a small prayer, okay?
Yeah.
Before we end.
Sure. So Lynn, you're the channel Hathor and then.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
She wants to say a quick hello. Greetings, beloveds.
Greetings. Welcome.
Greetings.
It is our delight to be with all of you. There are indeed times in which you will appear to be visualizing chaos. You will appear to be visualizing that there is much radical activity that is happening within this world as you know it. Beloveds, truly stay connected to your hearts. Stay connected to love. Stay connected to light. Bring neutrality. Bring compassion. Bring empathy. Imagine that if you were in the shoes of those who are committing these actions, you yourself might find yourself doing as they are, and forgive them from the deepest depths of your heart. Know that there is indeed an aspect of you that lives in all of them, and forgive yourselves for these actions. You will find that all that is to come to pass, the seeming chaos, the seeming turmoil, you will find that it shall indeed be a distant memory. But what you can do, beloveds, is to look within and find the places within you where there may still be traces of anger and sorrow and fear and greed and rage, and bring light to these. Bring love to these. Forgiveness is indeed the key. Call upon beloved Yeshua and many others. Call upon the angels and the archangels. Call upon your guidance. Call upon all who are indeed beyond the veil to bring forth to you love and blessings, and you will be met. Pray, beloveds, pray as you have never prayed before, for indeed your voices and your minds help to bring about the manifestation of light when you turn your thoughts and your will in that direction. Allow the light to come, beloved. It is waiting for you. We love you so deeply, and we are here with you. Call upon us indeed, and we will speak with you again. Greetings and salutations, loved ones.
Thank you, Hathor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Norbert, would you please pray us out, my love?
Lord Almighty, I am present. We call on the law of forgiveness for any mistakes we have ever done, whether we know of them or not, and to forgive all human mistakes and annihilate their cause and effect from mankind and the earth forever. We call on the law of forgiveness for any mistakes we have ever done, whether we know of them or not, and to forgive all human mistakes and annihilate their cause and effect from mankind and the earth forever. We call on the law of forgiveness for any mistakes we have ever done, whether we know of them or not, and to forgive all human mistakes and annihilate their cause and effect from mankind and the earth forever.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much for being here. I love you. Thank you to everybody on Facebook who's joined in with us tonight. We will be here next week when our guest is Lynn and Rob. We have the Lynn and Rob show.
There you go, the Lynn and Rob show. I promise I'll be on time too.
I'm so glad you got to enjoy your family. We're going to be bringing through some additional spiritual guidance and messages for you.
Yes.
And we thank you for being with us always. Much love.
Thank you all. Thank you
Have a
all.
good evening,
Really
everybody.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Everyone
you.
be safe. Enjoy your week.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Okay.
See you next
Thank-
week.
Spend
Thank
as
you,
much
Norbert.
time as you
Thank you,
can
Lynn.
looking in. Just look within.
Look within with love. See you all soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.